I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning and welcome to episode 836 of the TheLOTSProject morning show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's April 28th, 2025. End of April already, guys. End of April. This morning I'm enjoying a fresh cup of Ethiopian Yogurt Chef light roast from foodforestfarms.com, because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean Airstream roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out the C4 Club for even more awesome perks. Today, we're going to be talking about more truck issues, a win with some camper repairs, which was nice, a fun project coming up with Kori, and cabin project plans for this upcoming week. So grab a coffee, smash the like button, and let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. Driving along, I see. And John Palmer, good morning, good day, and good week to you, sir. How are you? Hopefully everything is going well. Little off this morning, let's say. Maybe Kori and I enjoyed some wine yesterday and might have had an extra glass or so. And one thing I was noticing, if you're watching the video, I was taking a few sips of coffee before the show started, and watch this shit. I can change the color of the screen just by picking my coffee cup up. So I don't know what the hell's up with that. Whether that's in my camera or in the StreamYard program, but that's a new one. So I suppose I need to just sit here and have a cup of coffee up the whole time, or not have any during the show. And not having any during the show is going to be not a option at this point. So decent week around here. Little bit of rain, few thunderstorms, nothing too crazy, but wasn't horrible. It's supposed to get really hot today from what I recall, and then back into some nice mid to upper 70s for the rest of the week, and a little bit of rain. Kori's got Thursday off, going to help some friends out, and so she took the day off, and always on her days off it just rains. So I don't know if I need to get her to not take any more days off or just be happy with the rain. But anyway, let's get to it. Talk about truck progress, I guess it's progress. To recap what was going on with the truck, I got a 2011 F-250 that we bought back when we decided to hit the road. We bought our camper, and then we sized a truck to go with the camper. The F-250 was a good choice. It was big enough, and we went with the 6.2 liter gas engine. So it's a 2011 F-250 6.2 liter gas engine. Been really reliable. Good morning, Mike's Homestead. Thanks for stopping in. It's been really reliable. Ish. I think that from the beginning, Kori and I both said that the four-wheel drive is kind of janky. It's not, it doesn't work the greatest. And I mean, that truck is, from what I understand, known for getting stuck regardless. I've heard more than a few people talk about how easily it gets stuck in the mud. And so it is what it is. We've dealt with it. We've figured out how to get around the mud issues, the getting stuck issues. But all in all, it's been a decent truck for us. It is old. I mean, it's 14 years old now, so it's got some age. It's up over 200,000 miles. And for what we've put it through, I would say we haven't spent very much. We've done routine maintenance. I mean, we've done tires. We've had to do brakes and things like that. Just the things you're going to need to do. Recently, I guess I shouldn't say recently, in the last 6 months to a year, had this weird issue where when it would rain significantly, the truck would short out. I thought it was shorting out. Excuse me. It would rain significantly. After the rain, I would get a misfire on cylinder 4. Only cylinder 4. Had the code reader. Had a couple different code readers. It would start to hesitate. It would start to chug a little bit, and I'd throw the code reader on it. Cylinder 4 misfire, and almost like accelerating and driving long enough that it would dry it out. It would go away. Like, it would clear itself, and then it would be weeks before it came back. And like in the summer here in Tennessee, we'll go months without rain, it feels like, and it was fine the whole time. Like, I didn't have issues. So I was assuming it was something in the electrical components going to that cylinder 4. And being in a rural area, we have very few options for garages, and I didn't really want to spend the money for someone to troubleshoot a problem that wouldn't be there unless I took it in the rain. And we've talked about this, and I just recapping a little bit. Went on, and then all of a sudden it started misfiring on a different cylinder. So it was no longer cylinder 4. It was no longer just when it rained. It got worse and worse. And so it got to a point where, I gotta take this in, because it's not just when it rains. It's now cylinder 8, and it was significantly worse. And so I took it in, and it needed to be serviced for sure. I was going to do the plugs. I thought better of it, because I didn't know. I knew that we hadn't done them, and it had been 100,000 miles or so since we had bought the truck. I didn't know if they did it before we bought it, and I'm still not sure if they did it before I bought it. But it turned out that the plugs were pretty roached. They were definitely well worn. The plug wires were definitely well worn. I had the shop do that, and he's like, "Yeah, it's good. It's not misfiring anymore. It's running fine." And it did. It sounded significantly better. It felt significantly better running it. And I got about 8 to 10 miles, or not even that far, because it's not probably, 3 miles at most away from the shop, and the check engine came back on, and it was misfiring again on cylinder 8. And I was like, all right, so I got to do coil packs. That was the next thing. When I talked to the guy at the shop, he said, coil packs probably need to be done too. And I figured I could do that in the driveway. So I ordered some up, consulting with Mr. Pippin, and from the audience, from the Lots community there in Telegram. Conferred with him, got some coil packs on the way, got them changed. Went really smooth. Good morning, Hunter. Thanks for stopping over on Twitch. It went really smooth. Got them all swapped out. Was happy with how quickly it went and how smooth it went. He had them out to change the plugs, so it wasn't they weren't seized in or anything, but was able to make a little video about how to release the Ford clips on the electrical connections for the coil packs. Got them all changed out, and I thought it was done. I thought we were good, and the same kind of thing happened. We got a few miles down the road when I took it for a test drive, and man, it popped back up. The misfire popped back up, still on cylinder 8, and I was just like, oh man, now we're looking at an injector. I looked at the fuel rail. I don't want to take the fuel rail out, not in the driveway. It looks like a pain in the ass. It looks like I could get into some trouble with my limited tools and things like that. And so I was just kind of defeated, dejected, and it's running way better than it was. Like, I don't feel like it's a mechanical issue, just the way it's running and how intermittent it is. And it's gotten way, way, way more intermittent. Kori and I went to do laundry and groceries this weekend, And so the town we go to do that in is, I think it's 12 miles, 17 miles. I don't know, but it's a bunch of hills. It's about a half-hour drive, bunch of hills up and down. And the misfire, intermittent misfire was pretty prominent under load. So going up hills, it would give us this, it would throw the error and some other places during acceleration. And so we're driving, and we drive all the way to town. We drive all the way, get to a few different places in town, run around town, and it didn't misfire once. And I'm like, oh wow, must have been a clogged injector, must have broke free, because I did add some fuel system cleaner before I took it to the shop, just hoping that would clear things up, and it didn't seem to. And so this is still working through that same tank of gas. So I was hoping that maybe it broke free. So we drive around town. We drive the long way. We had to go pick up our mail, and so we drive the long way home, which is almost pushing an hour ride. More hills, more acceleration, deceleration, all sorts of different speed limits, and no misfire the whole time. I was like, this is good. We're golden. This is it. It fixed itself. It ran through the course. It unclogged the injector or whatever happened. And then so that went well. One of the packages we needed to pick up was for a repair for the camper, and when I got it home, I opened it up and I didn't have the right connectors. The electrical wiring came. Didn't have spade ends on it, and I needed a spade end, and I didn't have any. I had actually used the last ones that I had installing the thing that I was fixing like 2 years ago. I had wire nuts. I didn't really want to go that way where it was with it could be moisture and stuff. So I decided to go and take a trip to Lowe's real quick and pick up some electrical connectors, which is back in the town that we do laundry in. And I was like, oh, that'll be another good trip for the truck to see if this issue is actually cleared. I drive all the way down, get to town, and in like the last 2 miles before I got to Lowe's, I started to get a little bit of a misfire, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" This has been now, I don't know, 80 miles ish. Hadn't had any problems. Going to Lowe's, I shop real quick, and I drive all the way home. No issue, not one issue the whole way home. So right now I'm sitting back in the place where I was with the original cylinder 4 issue, where I can't trust that it's going to be happening when I take it to the garage to spend a significant amount of money and find out there was nothing actually wrong with it. So I don't know what's going on with it. I got to take it for a significant drive today, and I will evaluate more. But coil packs went easy, and it seems to be working itself out. So I'm hoping that it is I'm hoping that it is an injector. And from the little bit of research I was able to find with the injectors on this thing, the fuel rail, basically, there's no recirculation in it, and people have said that if you start having trouble with the cylinder 8 or cylinder 4, they sit on the end of the fuel rail independently on either side, and without the recirculation, any bit of gunk that gets in there, any bit of sediment or particles or anything will accumulate at the back end of that fuel rail. Whether this is the truth or not, I have no idea. I definitely am not an expertise auto mechanic or a motorhead by any means, but it made sense to me a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe that's where there's some stuff accumulating, and it's plugged up that injector, and it's working itself with the injector cleaner that I use. I don't know. We'll see. Friend asked if I had changed the fuel filter, if this was a fuel pressure issue, And I said that's a really good question. The shop we used to take it to before we left Minnesota definitely would have done it on schedule, but I hadn't thought about it since we've been on the road. And so I look into it, and sure enough, Ford decided that fuel filters, I guess, are just random. We don't need them really, or I. In my opinion, they said that we don't really need them because they are a lifetime filter on this vehicle, not serviceable, not changeable, and it really, coming from the fuel industry and seeing what kind of fuel gets through the fuel dispensers and the filters and everything there. I don't know how Ford can rely on a lifetime filter unless it flushes itself somehow. That's scary to me. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it. John Palmer says, "What cleaner did I use?" It was a high mileage. It might have been O'Reilly. It was a high mileage engine cleaner and conditioner. It's just something I grabbed on the way to the gas station. It was a hope and a prayer, and I picked one that was on there. It was made for the right mileage. Do you have a suggestion on another one I could throw in there? Because I'm going to have to get gas here pretty soon. Maybe I could stop and grab some more. But yeah, the lifetime fuel filter thing really kind of it kind of irks me, because one bag tank of fuel and you're kind of fucked. I think. I don't know. Maybe it does recirculate and flush itself or something. I don't know, but apparently it's in the tank. Apparently it is in the tank along with the fuel pump, and yeah. So good luck with that. Good luck with that. John Palmer's going to send a link over. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Is that something I'm going to want to order, or will I be able to find it locally? All right. Well, so that's the truck. That's the truck. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. Hunter says, "Yeah, but where does the crap go?" And that's my question. That's my question. Like, how do you have a filter that you can't change? I got over 200,000 miles on this. How many tanks of gas? How many tanks of gas have been put into that thing? How many random gas stations? And in Tennessee, 100%, I would not be surprised if I got shitty gas, water in the gas, diesel in the gas. Going to the gas stations around here is scary for me. I had to put it out of my head. I had to put it out of my head, especially coming out of the fuel industry and seeing, being able to correlate, looking at the pumps, looking at the facility, looking at the tank field, and knowing the types of issues that causes, time after time after time. It's really hard to go and pump gas into your car in Tennessee, because every gas station seems just like a shithole. In this area, I shouldn't say all of Tennessee, but in this area, they're few and far between, and the ones you find are more. They seem to be more than likely mom and pops that don't really take care of anything. So, yeah, it's a sticky situation there. Yeah, all right. Well, move on from the truck. That's to be continued, for sure. It'll be a while till I'm satisfied with it. But anyway, got a couple days left on the comfrey sale over at comfreyroots.com. The BOGO, I guess BOGO or double your order is a better way to say it. Any order placed over at comfreyroots.com between now and April 30th, so ends in a couple days here at the end of the month, you're going to get double your order. You just go over, you order it. If you want to put in code no fooling at checkout, you can. I have some issues with the plugins on the site, so it was only letting me do a kind of a buy one get one. But we are doubling any order. So there's 2 packs, there's 5 packs. You want to order 10 packs, you're going to get 20. Whatever you put in your cart, whatever you pay for, you'll get double in the mail. We've been sending those out every Monday. So sale lasts a few more days. Get over to comfreyroots.com, COMFREYROOTS, comfreyroots.com, and get your order doubled up. Don't wait. It's only a couple more days. Anyway, great time to get comfrey in the ground. Customers are saying the roots are showing up great. I'm not really happy with the USPS shipping at the moment. It's taking too long for me, and it's been interesting watching over the last 7 years. I think I've been selling and shipping comfrey. Watching how much slower USPS is year to year to year to year. Same service, same shipping type, same package, same weight, same distance, and double. It's gotten to the point where it's double the shipping time. And when you're sending something that is, I don't want to call them perishable. They're really robust and not that delicate to ship. But when we get into July and August and they're shipping across the country and it's taking over a week for them to get to their end place, and it just it gets frustrating. And so I've been contemplating giving customers an option, free shipping being the always option, free shipping being the standard rate, and set some expectations on how long it's going to be there, but give folks an opportunity to upgrade their shipping to a priority mailer or a priority box or something like that. Dog's a little upset about that, I guess, but anyway, that's just stuff that when you do something this long, and I don't know if other people are doing stuff where they're shipping products. Have you noticed this? Have you had to adjust? Expectations of your customers, or up your shipping different methods to get things there sooner? After 7 years, I've really, I mean, I just looked the other day. We've sold over 500 or 600 orders of comfrey in that 7 years. So it is what it is. But watching the shipping slow down, it gets really frustrating. So anyway, let's move on from that. Get your comfrey roots at comfreyroots.com. Next on the list, camper. So it seems like everything in Kori and I's life just seems to be breaking. We're having some issues with the camper. We're having issues with the truck. It's just like one thing after another. Hold on. Hunter says, not a shipper, but as someone who's ordering stuff, watching my packages hit Dallas 3 times in 3 weeks before it shows up in a total of 5 weeks later. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. If it gets lost in the mail, great. You're gonna reimburse me. Now I have to start putting insurance on all my packages, because that's on my end. It's not like the comfrey roots show up 5 weeks later and they're still viable. I mean, maybe they are. I wouldn't count on it. I get nervous at a week plus. That is not it. I shouldn't say that. Depending on the temperature, a week plus is no bueno. So yeah, going on a couple weeks, it's going to be bad. Hold on one second. Mike's Homestead says, bought some trees from Nick Ferguson. Oh, nice. Fast growing cheese. He shipped priority on a Wednesday. I got a notification from USPS, told me 2 to 3 days, then told me Friday. Even on Saturday, it was saying by Friday at 9. Later on Saturday, showed me it was still in Dallas. Right? That is USPS. There is yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. It's I guess you just nut up and move on to UPS if they're even any better, or FedEx. Like Mike said, priority mail through USPS isn't even much better. So I don't know. I get my coffee from the C4 Club USPS priority box, and that gets shaky too. Like Mike said, usually 2 days, some days 3 days, sometimes 3 days, sometimes a week. It all depends, and that's really hard for you to do and plan your business around. So it's thanks government. So efficient. John Palmer says, "Don't say everything." I knew a guy that broke his penis once. I mean, I'll beat on that thing and try to break it. But anyway, things keep breaking. And so this winter, we got smart, I guess. Good morning, Jim. Thanks for stopping by. We got smart, kind of, and ended up putting insulation in our Max Air fan. If you don't know what a Max Air fan is, if you've been in a camper and you go in the bathroom, there's that little computer fan, in the bathroom, the exhaust fan in the little hatch. I don't think they come standard much in campers anymore. I think Max Air fan is pretty much the go-to now for manufacturers. But anyway, ours didn't have that, so we bought one. I installed it. The thing was incredible. It moves so much more air. You can turn it on and feel the air suck through the windows, which is a big problem in this camper. Is there's just no air movement. And then it's reversible. It goes in and out. It's got a cover to where if it's raining, you can still have it open and get some airflow in the camper, even when you can't have the windows open. And Norman just loves laying underneath it. That's where he sleeps at night. And anyway, this winter, we lose a lot of heat through that. All it is like a plexiglass cover, some sort of plastic cover. And so when it was cold and we'd have the wood stove going and we're trying to keep up with temp in here, we would lose a lot of heat through there. So we cut a piece of foam and stuck it in the opening for the winter. And it worked great. It definitely raised the temperature in here because our wood stove is right across from the bathroom. So it was almost like it was drafting the heat right out the opening. And so we put the piece of foam in there. Spring came, and it wouldn't come on. Wouldn't come on. And I kind of ignored it. Just to be honest, it's been a while since we had that out, and I wasn't sure what was going on. We have a remote. The remote would work, but it wouldn't do anything on the unit. It would open up like it should. The fan wouldn't come on. And last year or the year before, I actually replaced the fan motor. It felt like the motor burned out, and then it worked. And I just didn't want to replace that again. And it was to the point where these things are like $350 or so. And the motor is like $120, and the control board's like $100. And I was like, do we just buy a new one? But we don't really want to spend much more money on the camper because we're not going to be in here a whole lot longer, hopefully. So it was that decision: do we throw parts at it? Do we buy a new one? What do we do? So waffled back and forth, kind of went on the back burner. We were just dealing with what it is. It's getting kind of warm in here. And so finally I was like, well, we'll fix it. I'll fix it. So I did some troubleshooting. I pulled it apart. I did some research. I did some testing, and was pretty confident that it was the control board in there. From the research I did, from other people's accounts of what happened when their fan stopped working, it's a non-sealed control board, a non-sealed PCB, printed circuit board. So what I think happened is when we put the insulation, the foam in the opening, it sealed it up, and it might have sealed it up too well. Because when the sun would beat on the plastic cover, I think we were getting moisture condensation, and it just sat in there. And when I took the cover off and looked at the board, you could see there had been accumulated where the moisture had accumulated around the board. So being that I worked on shit that got wet all the time in the gas pumps and the sumps, I was like, yeah, that board's roached. And it worked enough. It got the power to the motor to open and close it, but it wasn't receiving a signal from the remote. It wasn't sending the power to the fan with the adjustable RPMs on the fan. And so I ordered the control board. Control board came in. Like I said, I popped it open after we got home from town, and saw that there were no connector ends on the power, the main power. Everything else had the proper connectors on it, but the main DC power in had no connectors on it. I had spade connectors on the incoming DC power. Ran back, got some connectors. Smart enough, I bought both male and female because I assumed that the male was what I had on that end, and turned out it was female. So I'm glad I bought both little packages for a couple bucks a piece. Hey, Hanging Laundry, good morning. Been a while. Thanks for popping in. And so I picked those up, and I came home. Wham bam, crimped them on, put the thing back up in there, and away she went. And man, the fan just it took off, and I was so happy. I looked at Kori, and I was just like, you don't even know how excited. I don't know if excited is the word, but how good it felt that something fucking worked. That something was fixed. We've been struggling with the truck on and on. We've been dealing with this and the leaks and all sorts of shit. And nothing's fixed. I've been trying to fix stuff, and it was just this ongoing what's going to break next. And this was a win. Like, I felt like I finally troubleshot something. I ordered the right part. I installed it, and it fucking worked, and it felt great. But that was short-lived. Later that evening, Kori got ready for bed. She went to bed. I went outside before bed to take a piss, and I come back in, and the door wouldn't fucking shut. It wouldn't latch. You could pull it shut and like use the handle and like try to latch it, try to use the dead, and it wouldn't fucking latch. And I'm like, what now? And I'm like banging on the door, slamming the door, trying to get it to latch. And I'm like, oh, Kori's gonna be wide awake. Literally went outside and pushed on it from the outside, and it latched. And I was like, well, it latches from the outside, but I can't do it from the inside. What the hell? So for the night, I was like, okay, well, I'll go unlock the other door in the bathroom. I'll go outside. I'll lock this one. I'll push it shut. I'll lock it. I'll come in the other door, and I'll deal with it in the morning. Well, that's all. That's great. Except in the middle of the night, I got up to take a piss, and I open the door. I walk out. I take a piss, and I come back in. I couldn't get the door to shut, and it's like 2 a.m, and the dog was in the bathroom. It would have just been a shit show to try to get that whole situation again. And so basically I just put the gate in the door and closed the door as much as I could. It wasn't supposed to rain. It was a decent night. So yeah, next morning I look at it and somehow randomly the strike plate cracked. The strike plate that when you pull the door shut, the latch sits in and it holds it shut, and the deadbolt goes in the same hole and holds it shut. It cracked and it had bent and it wasn't holding it. And I was like, how random. Haggard Laundry says it sounds like Bezos' Capitol door. Folks, I went to space and it was the most incredible thing in my life. Then my door wouldn't shut. I was like, how random. And I can't. So I've changed the door handles on these doors. Before we took off, I changed them out because they were getting in pretty rough shape. And I tried to think back if I changed the strike plates. Canadian Farmstead with a fantastic suggestion says, sounds like you need to build a more long-term living situation. Right? I tried to remember when I changed the door latches if they came with strike plates, and I'm pretty sure they did. And so I was like, all right, I know I saved at least one of the old latches for spare parts. Maybe I threw a strike plate in that bag. I'm hoping, because I'm looking at this thing and there's no way to fix it. And the door wouldn't shut. So got to be able to shut the fucking door when we leave. Or even if we're here at some points. And so I pulled out my tote of spares. I found the bag that had all the door handle parts in it. And sure as shit, there was a strike plate. And so I was able to come in and throw that in. And it worked great. And I was like, 2 for 2. 2 days in a row, I was able to fix something, and it made me feel good about myself. So my self-esteem is on the rise, guys, just in case you were wondering. So that was good. But I looked at the other one, the other door, and I'm just hoping that one lasts until we can get out of here. Which today actually I should be taking off. I got to double check with Kori, make sure today's a good day to do it. But I got to run over and I'm going to get the deposit put down on getting our roof put up, our posts and our roof. We got that quoted way back. I think it was in December, and things changed. We decided to get our driveway put in. And then that was delayed for the normal Tennessee soaking wet winters, and couldn't get in there to work on it, couldn't get the rock brought back, and finally the driveway got put in. And just about the time I was going to go put a deposit down, we had that huge rainstorm. It washed part of the driveway out. And it's to the point where I just have to go do it, because I found out from my friends that it's prices are going up 10% on May 1st. So might as well sneak in there under the wire and buy the materials at 10% less. And so I'm going to run over there today or tomorrow before the end of the month and get that deposit down. And I'll just tell our driveway guy that I have to have access by whatever day they give me. So it's looking like probably 8 weeks. Who knows? It might be longer than that this time of year. But I know it was 8 weeks out in December. So it might end up being fucking August by the time we have a roof up. But that'll be a start. At least I'll have a deposit down and a projected date. And the nice part is if we can get the driveway put back together and they happen to have a cancellation or something, that's a pretty quick project, and it might just go up any day. And then once that's up, it's going to be it'll be an interesting project, and in getting everything done. Have a rough plan. It's going to be a kind of a more as we go kind of thing. I have a feeling, and adjust on the fly, but the general idea is there, and I'm getting excited to do that. So That might be today, might be tomorrow, depending on what was going on. And as long as it's by the first of the month, I get to save that 10%. So if you're thinking about buying some materials, that might be a similar thing going on where you're at. Let's see what else we got going on here. Huh. Anyway, other shout out sponsor, quote unquote sponsor. I have Blockstream Jade down here. If you guys are getting ready for the Bitcoin bull run, up over 95. Been having a decent week since I talked to you last. Getting ready to, excuse me, getting ready to make a run. I think I don't know. It might be tomorrow. It might be next month. It might be later this year. But we're getting ready for a significant pop. And when that happens, if you remember the last time it happened, your wallet may start to get a little scary. That software wallet you got on your phone or wherever you got your Bitcoin held, please don't tell me it's on an exchange. If your Bitcoin is on an exchange, please get a hold of me and I'll tell you why you shouldn't and help you get it into at least a hardware or at least a software wallet off the exchange, and more ideally into a hardware wallet situation of some sort. So Blockstream Jade is the one that I've been using, the Blockstream Jade for a while now, and the Blockstream Jade Plus, I guess for a while now too. It's been since the first of the year, I think is when they came out. So a good almost 4 months. Love them both. Few issues here and there from people that have picked them up, and Blockstream is very good about rectifying that or answering questions. I have been completely satisfied with mine and think it is appropriate for a beginner Bitcoiner or someone that's been in a while. Open source software, you can tinker with it, you can see what they're doing, secure, and great buy. The Jade is a lower priced option, and then the Jade Plus is about twice the cost, but it's pretty sweet little device, and they went the extra mile with it, changed some mechanics that were not the best. Instead of using this little scroll wheel, they've gone to an all button design, a little bigger screen, and a few other options that come with that Jade Plus. So there is code TheLOTSProject on. You can use that over at Blockstream store to get 10% off. I get a little commission off of that. I appreciate that. And a double hack if you want to use your Fold card, if you're a Fold card member, and if you're not, and not getting free sats back on gift cards and purchases, I suggest that too. But Fold and Blockstream teamed up, and they have a gift card where I believe you get 10% back in sats for a gift card. So you can double down. You can get a few sats back from Fold. You can get a discount from me and get yourself a decent hardware wallet from Blockstream, the Blockstream Jade and Jade Plus. Last thing I want to talk about, I guess, today, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But Kori and I have a project coming up. It was interesting. It was random. We were thinking about some stuff that we could make, local products or products that we could sell locally, things that we needed ourselves that we could start preparing for the cabin, and then list it for sale. And so we went back and forth, and she said, well, we need a table. We need a table. We need benches. We need all sorts of stuff, both picnic table and kitchen table. And so we started looking. I have a friend back in Minnesota who makes tables he did make tables until his table business grew so much that he bought a CNC router, and now he makes custom signs, but started out making custom tables for people. So I had talked to him about that for a long time, and he had sent me some videos. I'd looked into it, and it was always something I was going to do when I had a spot to do it. Really didn't get into it much in Minnesota as we were getting ready to leave. But man, James, my friend James, started in his garage. He had no building experience whatsoever when he started. Basically just picked up a few required tools and watched some videos and made it work. I think I have a little advantage ahead. I've used tools for my whole life and have built things and know different things. So I said, yeah, let's build a table, Kori. Let's do it. Let's do it. We looked up some plans. We looked up some cut lists and some different styles, and she picked one that she liked, and that's going to be our project next weekend. Kori and I are going to work on it together. I love doing stuff with her. I love being around her all the time. So hopefully this is something that we can do together and continue to do together. But we're going to build a farmhouse style table that is it could be used both indoors or as a picnic table outdoors with a couple benches. Really nice looking table. I'm excited to do it. Going to pick up that material this week and hopefully we can knock it out in a weekend. Maybe. I think the construction and the assembly is no more than a day if everything goes well. If everything goes well. But I think with sanding and staining and sealing, it might drag out to a few more days just with drying time, and it's a lot of sanding. The table is going to be like 6 foot long by 2.5 feet wide, and 2 benches to go along with it that are both full length benches. So it's a lot of sanding, a lot of staining, and we'll see how long that part takes. But I really think the assembly, looking through the instructions and how it's put together, and my prior knowledge of it's very similar to the table that my friend started out with. I can't see it taking more than a half a day and a day at the most to get it assembled. So we're going to put that together. We don't really have anywhere to put it other than if we take it out and put it in one of Tim's cabins. But we'll probably list it for sale. So if somebody wants to buy it, they can buy it. They can take it. I can make another one. And yeah, we're going to start making other tiny little projects like that. Things that we're going to need, things that we want, and then put them for sale until we want them. And even after, we did that a little bit on the farm. We'd list things for sale that if they sold, then we just replaced it. So Hanging Laundry says that's great when couples work well together. I didn't say we worked well together. I said I enjoy working with her. No, we do. We do well together. I enjoy my time with her, and that was always something that I never understood. When I would go to work, I go to work and talk with guys, and you talk about all sorts of shit. And a lot of the folks, or a lot of the guys I work with would constantly be complaining about their wives, constantly be, oh man. And I've never have a bad thing to say about my wife. I never have a bad thing to say about her. And I would look at these guys and I get that every once in a while you get pissed off, you have a bad day, or you have a disagreement, things like that. But these guys would like every day bitch about their wives, constantly complain about their wives. And I look at them like, why the fuck are you married to her? Why are you spending to choose your time with her if she makes you that miserable? And they would look at me like dumbfounded, like, isn't that just how it's supposed to be? And I don't understand it. I don't understand the concept of continuing to do something that Good morning, Pip. Good morning, Pip. Pip, the best thing to do, I guess. Can't complain about a wife I don't have. Hanger Laundry says my son is the same, a commercial electrician. Yeah, I mean that's what I was in, trades, blue collar work, and these guys. And I don't know if it was they were miserable with their lives, so they just complained about their wives, or if it was the other way around. But man, there were few and far between guys that just were happy with their spouse. And John Palmer says life is misery. It isn't as bad when you enjoy the person you're with. I don't get it. I really don't. And I shouldn't, so I can't fault them. Kori is my second wife. My first one didn't work out that well. And I can see how it happened. I've been through it. But when I ask, they look at me like, well, isn't that just the way it's supposed to be? And I don't know if I just learned my lesson. I don't know if I got lucky. I don't know if the when I met Kori, it just happened to work out, and if it had been someone else, what would have happened? But a light bulb went off at some point, and I realized that it just isn't worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. There is no reason to stick it out. And it is what it is. It is what it is. So I enjoy working and doing hanging laundry. Says don't marry high maintenance. That's funny. This weekend sometime, I don't even remember what we were watching, something a commercial or something on Amazon came on, and or maybe it was on one of the shows, but for some reason Kori looks at me and said, was I wearing makeup when I met you? And you would think, like, the first time we met, did she have makeup on? No, she meant, was I currently applying makeup on a regular basis when I met you? And she wasn't. When I met my wife, when I fell in love with my wife, the first time I saw her, she had sweatpants and a wife beater on with her hair in a ponytail, and definitely no makeup on. And I think, and I still do think, she's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. So John Palmer says, some people believe in until death do us part. Great. Perfect. You can be fucking miserable until death does you part. It is what it is. It is what it is. And we can go down. I went on a long, and this isn't something I really want to bang on too bad here. But yeah, I'm not even going to start, because not even going to start in it. With the I did a deep dive into the philosophies of Bitcoin versus Christianity, because, why not? Did some reading, did some chatting with a couple different LLMs, and it was an interesting insight, to say the least. I don't know if it was Easter or the Pope dying or what it was, but it was on my mind, and I went down that road, and it reaffirmed some things that I have held true for a long time. Jim says, I'm miserable, but I'm no quitter. That's what we used to say when I didn't want to quit smoking, was mama didn't raise no quitter. But Hanging Laundry says, important to take care of a relationship, especially if children exist. Yeah, there is that, but there's also the how many kids have you talked to, or how many adults have you talked to that realized their parents were absolutely miserable with each other, and would have been better if they weren't? I understand the nuclear family. I understand needing a mom and a dad. I understand. I get it. I totally get it. But is being in a situation where two people hate each other, and whether they fight about it in front of the children or not, you pick up on it. You can't tell me that two people that are at odds don't put off a vibe that kids that are in that environment absorb, or they witness and believe that it's okay to live like that. That it's just the way it needs to be. That it's just it's the way it has to be. It's not. It's not. I don't know if we've been conditioned to feel that or what, but yeah, I'm not saying there aren't bumps in the road you can get over, that you can't work things through, but Jim says, I had a friend tell me they were getting divorced. I said, I'm sorry. They said, I'm not. We're happier. Right? It is. It's something to consider. People always say we're doing it for the kids. We're doing it for the kids. I read an article a long time ago, and I want to dig it up. And I can't remember who wrote it, but it's stuck in the back of my head, the point of the thing. And I don't remember the details too much, but it was about this the need to put your children first and how detrimental it is to your children and yourself, that you need to come first in your life. You, then your spouse, if you have one, and then your children. That running constantly and taking and putting them first is the selfless thing to do, but it's not healthy for you or them. And it was a really intriguing article. It was something to ponder. And if I can dig it up again, I'll share the link in the Telegram group. But he made a very good point, and a very logical point for making sure you are taken care of, so that you can take care of your wife or your children. It came down to the same theory of put your fucking oxygen mask on first. And Jim just is, as I'm saying this, Jim typed the same thing. Put your oxygen mask on first before you start putting it on other people. So yeah, it was interesting. I'll try to find it. So anyway, coming up this week, I got gonna go put that deposit down today. Actually, I haven't really said much about it, but today is going to be the last release of a Director Detour episode, at least for a while. I'm shutting that down. It's a juice squeeze thing, guys. It's done it for 6 months. I got 75 episodes out there. I am not really thrilled with the progress it was making. Not saying it was making the progress that it currently is going through. There's 75 episodes out there. If you haven't listened to one, I think it was a good concept. I enjoyed doing it. But the time I'm needing to dedicate it to it, coming into summer here, with our cabin build and some other stuff I have going on, it's just not going to fit in the schedule. So I'm going to shut that down for a while. Like I said, I really enjoyed doing it. I'm still going to be affiliated with Podmatch. I'm going to be putting some courses and webinars together. They're in the works. Just finalizing them and recording some more content for them. On how to use Podmatch and how to use it as a business owner to expose yourself to new clients, not expose yourself, Jim. Get yourself exposed to new customers, and how effective going on podcasts is, and how easy it is to find the right podcast to be on Podmatch. It should be good. But I just got to shut down that show for a while because it was taking up too much and not giving enough back. So hope if you've listened to it, you enjoyed it. And man, if it sparks off and the downloads happen, maybe I'll pick it back up. Pip says, how about those tan lines? Right. Please, Jim, if you're going to go on podcast, at least wear a Speedo. We'd appreciate that. We would definitely appreciate that. Other than that, the rest of the week I gotta go pick up materials to for Kori and I's project, and we'll be rolling on that later this week. I got some stuff to do out at Delinquent's Gully, and I have to hang out at home and babysit our boys on Thursday because mom has a play date with another pooch, so she will enjoy that for sure. And yeah, other than that, we're gonna wrap up unless you guys got something you want to chat about. I'm gonna knock it out here. I got comfrey orders to process and get shipping labels all done and get those on the way. Like I said earlier today, got a couple days left over at comfreyroots.com for the double your order. Head on over there, put an order in, use the code or not. It doesn't really matter. We will double all the orders that come in. If you don't need the double order, give it to your neighbor. Teach them about it. Give it to a friend. Who knows? But comfreyroots.com, place to get your Bocking number 4 comfrey and Blockstream Jade for securing your biddies, your Bitcoin as the price is starting to slowly creep up here. And I think it's going to be slowly and then all at once. So be ready. Be ready. Have those things secured when you open your wallet and go, oh, wow. That's a little more than I thought it was going to be. With that, I'm going to wrap up here. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I hope you have a great day. You get everything done that you're expecting to. Find us over at the Lots Project Telegram chat at t.me/LotsChat. Come on, join the conversation over there. Great group of folks that have a good time. We bullshit, we have fun, and yeah, other than that, you can find me on Nostr is the place that I hang out the most. And on the other social medias, it'll be hit and miss whether I get a notification that you sent me a message. So find me on Telegram or over on Nostr is the direct, easiest way to get a hold of me. Hopefully you have a good week, guys, and we will talk to you again next Monday morning.